Hola. Thanks for joining me this morning. Hope you loved the music. I think we should turn this place into a dance club. Forget the conference. But, okay, I'm going to start right now. My clicker is here. So today, we're going to talk about how to build your company's growth machine. It just means a process, a system, a set of people, a set of software that enables you to grow in a very methodical, very repeatable, and very scalable way. Whether you are a small company or a mid-sized company or a large company, this will give you a lot of practical ideas on how to do that, and also a framework, a mental framework on how to think about it. So a quick background about me. I've spent 18 years in India and 18 years in California. So half my life in the US, half in India. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 8. I was profitable at 9. And I had a library, small library that I ran for a while in India. I founded a company called Searchforce that was bringing a lot of Wall Street analytics, mathematics, quantitative science to the problem of managing online ads. Today we manage over, I've managed over $1 billion of spend in managing some of the top advertisers in the US. Raised 10+ million in financing. My new company is called DoRevolution. It's funded by 500 startups and a bunch of investors from the Valley. We help people in companies of all sizes do a lot of growth hacking. I also teach growth seminars at many places around. So most of our services are around channel management, growth training, and as you might realize, all of you guys are trying to acquire customers from online, right? It has gotten really, really complicated. There's a zillion things you can do, and all these channels are changing so fast, right? So you're trying to figure out inbound, outbound, email, pay-per-click, mobile, Pinterest, virality, all things, right? And how do you create a system around this of experimentation and scaling, right? That's the big question here. So, okay, so in the next 25 minutes, we're going to do 25 growth hacks in 25 minutes, so very quick. And all of it will be practical, so I need you to pay attention. And anybody who posts photos of this slide will get 2 hours with me. So anybody who takes a photo, tweets it to me, and their people will get $1,000. Okay, so I'll give you a quick growth hack that I tried before coming to Brazil, right? I wanted to engage and meet with top investors here. I wanted to meet with top marketeers here. And I wanted to meet the entrepreneurial community, right? So I was going through LinkedIn, and I was going through all these connections, and I wanted to visit everybody's profile, right? But in San Paulo and Florianopolis, there's thousands of people I want to meet, right? So I wrote this script that actually visits profiles automatically based on a preset URL, right? So the preset URL was the first connection, second connections, those. And this script actually visits people's profiles. And it does 800 to 1,000 people a day, right? And what this has shown is when you do visit somebody's profile, everybody is interested in themselves. So they're always checking like, who visited me, who visited me? And then when you visit them and they visit you, there's a 30 to 40% conversion rate of a connection. When you ask for a connection, you get connected to them. So, and I also changed my profile just to come to Brazil, right? That I'm going to be here, I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be speaking, connect with me, right? So it was kind of an ad banner that I was showing to people without any cost, right? So this has a lot of elements of what you call growth hacking, right? You might have heard a lot of things about growth hacking, but the idea is how do you apply automation, programming, just common sense to certain problems and be able to solve it at scale, right? Here, my profile views went up from 30, 40 a day, all the way to almost 3 or 4 times, and it's just growing. So very soon, I'm going to be 1,000 or 2,000 people around the world are going to be looking at me for a week, every day, right? And a lot of them are going to make interesting connections. So to repeat this, the growth hacking is the intersection of lean marketing, right? I have a small company just like you guys, right? And I want to meet as many people as possible. I know I have 3 assistants already, but they're not enough. So I have to automate a lot of my things, right? So it's an intersection of lean marketing, software engineering and automation, and gathering data analytics and constantly testing and revising. So 8 qualities of people you want to hire. They have to have data-driven thinking. They should be rapid learners of changing marketing platforms. But every marketing platform, if you think about it, from AdWords to Pinterest, everything is getting more and more and more complicated, right? And Google's making $120 million a day on AdWords, right? And 50 billion plus a year. Their auctions are getting, it's like the Wall Street, trading systems. It's very, very sophisticated. If you don't have the right people, the right machines helping you, the right processes helping you, you cannot compete. You will lose money, right? So either Google will make a lot of money or your competitors will beat you, right? So one of the things will happen. So that's very important. They have to know product. They have to be UX savvy. They have to have a hustle mindset, which just means, it's like an entrepreneur, right? Like you have less resources. We call it eat like a bird and poop like an elephant. So you take in very little, but you give a lot, right? Very quickly. A cross-disciplinary mindset, right? So now, earlier, you could only get away by knowing AdWords, but now you have to know user interface, you have to know customer service, you have to know branding, you have to know positioning. So a growth hacker knows so many disciplines that they have to know how to do data analytics, they have to know a bit of statistics, they have to know pivot tables, right? So many things they have to do. So, and I think the last thing is technical acumen, which is the next slide, which, they don't have to know everything, but a little bit of all this, right? Like if you looked at the LinkedIn app that you saw, it took a little bit of programming, it took a little bit of web scraping, it took a little bit of, now we're going to do A/B multivariate testing of my profiles, right? How they, what do I put in the headline? Like what converts the best, right? So, but I need to measure that over time and change it over time. So, all this is super important. So yeah, this is my way of thinking about it, where I am doing, I'm trying to, everybody's talking about growth hacking, right? But how do you organize that in your mind, right? Is it really marketing? Is it really growth? Like, is it just the same? Like, what's the difference, right? So the difference is that it's all of that, but it has to be organized in a process. So this process, people, platform, and processes, if you incorporate, so in your organization, so people are, all the mindset we talked about. Process is more of a continuous optimization, using data to make decisions, figure out how to make data more actionable. Platforms is all the softwares that you use to be able to do what you need to do. So you don't have to do all the programming in-house, right? So you can create your own solutions, like the LinkedIn bot, right? Or anything else. So platforms is all these new marketing software that I call the growth stack, right? Which means the growth stack is all the software that you need to understand and learn to be able to do growth hacking better. Okay, so we talked about one of the main important things is, as some of you guys are starting out, some of you guys are on a rapid growth curve or going to go to a growth curve. You have a product or service. So before you start, make sure you have a strong marketing plan, and there's a marketing canvas that can really help you figure out your mission, brand, target audience, where is your actual market, what is your message to it. So you can get a big board like that, right? You can get a big board and you can experiment and write and work with your team to nail down this, because it's super important. Before you start doing anything growth or anything, any marketing, you need to nail this down. The second one is, these days brand is huge, right? So you need to be able to figure out what is the feeling that people are getting, right? Because now people are used to such high quality products like Uber and such high quality, even physical products like Apple products. People expect a lot. So you want to design your brand experience. So this is an example of Uber where it was a billions of dollars of industry, and it was just very poor interface. It was very poor design. Customers felt like, oh, is the taxi going to come? When is it going to come? And they have to wait and wait and wait. So they really worked on the psychology of what was important. So as you see here, the internal purposes and your principles of your company have to be clear. Like, what is the truth about me, about my company? Are we great product people? Are we great marketing people? Why are we doing this company, right? Like, why are we doing this venture? And all the way of getting, purpose and people and, what do people think about it and so on. And then your product will come out in the end, right? So the brand experience design, all that stuff is really important. So this is a hack for that. And then the other one is when you are early stage in your company, you have three main risks. You have a product risk, you have a customer risk, and you have a market risk, right? If you don't ship the product and you don't have engineering skills to do it, you're screwed. If you don't have customers, you're screwed. And if you don't have any market, right? And so Lean Canvas is a systematic way of brainstorming all those things to be able to fit it right? To get enough data. And I understand, early on, nobody knows, right? Nobody knows if there's going to be a market. Nobody knows if they can build the whole product, right? And that's okay. So you can create different experiments. So you can have a different Lean Canvas for each experiment and improve this over time, right? So it's very important to get this down. So if you haven't, how many people have used Fiverr here? Oh, how many people are entrepreneurs or call themselves entrepreneurs? Oh, wow. Yeah, you guys are not real entrepreneurs if you don't know Fiverr. For $5, people can do a lot of things for you. So, I got my website done, I got my copy editing done, I got my PowerPoint slides done. All of them are done on Fiverr, right? And those guys are not my cousins from India. So people will do, they'll get on a Buffalo, take a picture, they'll promote your website, they will do body art, all for $5, right? So for an entrepreneur, Fiverr is huge. You have to use a combination of Fiverr, Elance, Odesk, and also Theme Forest, where you can get all your templates, landing pages, websites, mobile optimized websites, and obviously WordPress is a huge platform. So these are incredible tips in terms of getting your website and getting your ideas out and about. I think the other hack is about mobile, right? Now everywhere mobile is picking up, but I see websites that are horrible, right? Even if you look at your own website today, maybe 20–30% of you will find, or half of you will find that your website really is not optimized for all the devices. It's super, super important. Now, throughout the world, 30–50% of traffic is shifting to mobile, right? So it's super important that you're on there. And these are the 6 huge things that cause problems. So unplayable videos, faulty redirects, smartphone only, you need smart only 404s. There's a lot of app interstitials that come up, right, on a phone, and you'll be like, what the fuck? I can't see anything, right? So it's very important to get those out of the way. Page speed is super important. Google's PageRank is now ranking you on page speed. And if you don't do well on page speed, your ranking will go down. Also, irrelevant cross-linking and things. This is just a quick list for you to check your mobile site again. Hack number 8 is, using a combination of WordPress and Yoast or any other SEO tool will really help jumpstart your content marketing and content planning efforts. And Yoast will automate a lot of issues around SEO, and it will surround surround your content with lots of SEO tags. So just starting out, you don't really need a huge expert to help you, right? And you can get up and running like within minutes. The other tool that I found really helpful, so now let's talk about, okay, you have a strategy now, you have a website now from Fiverr, you have a brand experience design plan. Now it's time to create some content, right? Inbound marketing for you. So how do you do that? So BuzzSumo is a tool that really helps you create your content, right? So create your content meaning like who's talking about what topic and how many times it's shared across all the networks, right? So it'll give you a good idea. Let's say I'm writing on content marketing. I can see all the articles that are top, in the last 24 hours, in the past month, in the past year, and I can really plan my content this way. I can look at what content type I want to create. Do I want to create an infographic, giveaway, interview? What's trending, right? This is really, really critical because there's so much. Everybody's talking about content marketing, right, and inbound marketing. That means people are spending millions of dollars on producing content, at least in the US, right? Big companies. So you're like a little guy among so many, right? And you want to be strategic about what you write about, how you spread it, right? Because spreading it is more important than the content itself, right? So you have to now think about distribution before content creation. So a lot of local companies are awesome as well. Content tools, you can just start outsourcing your content writing to content tools or raw content, or there may be other startups doing the same. But these people have writers for a fixed price, and they'll help you research what content will work and measure the returns on the content that's created. So they have tools to be able to do that. Hack number 11 is you want to link. Do you see the link here? Crazy Egg and Kissmetrics and Samir Patel is all linked. It is when you put an ad in your Twitter handle, it creates a link automatically. And you'll be surprised how many free clicks you can get like that. But it's a kind of a little tweak to your bio. But if you have a lot of followers, it can result into a huge influx of traffic for you. There is also pay using a tweet tools, right? And when you Google this, you'll see there's a lot of things where you can kind of initially incentivize customers to be able to pay with a tweet instead of something else. That means you are getting your virality loop going, right? And they may have, who knows how many followers they have, right? If there's some celebrity using it, instantly your traffic can spike, right? So pay with a tweet is a great idea for a lot of apps, both consumers or B2B. Social signals hack. This is where it consolidates all your contact, all your email, all your social signals and follow-ups from everywhere, and it allows you to create relationships more effectively, right? So you can manage all your contacts against different channels, right? And all this might be a lot for you to absorb right now, but I think if you just remember all these tools and hacks, like they will be useful to you when you get there, right? And it may not be Nimble, but it may be some other software, right? But like the technology is out there to automate your work. That's more important. Hack number 14 is mode. So here I searched for Uber, and it got me all the display ads they're running everywhere in the world, right? And all the social networks that they're running on. So you could enter your company name, your competitor's name, and you can study their branding, you can study their positioning, you can study where they are on the web. So if you pass your mouse over each image, it will show you it's running on blah, blah, blah blog, right? It's running on, these ads, right? So it will let you create your own messaging, creating branding, your creative. It will also let you figure out their distribution. So it's great for competitive research. It's good to see your own traffic as well. Moz has many tools. I mean, I'm covering a very basic tool, but it's an important tool in terms of your content marketing strategy, right? It's to study people's backlinks, like who's pointing to your competition, who's pointing to people who are, who you are interested in, right? So if you, because one of the biggest page rank algorithms is how many people link to you and who's linking to you, what authority they have, right? And the authority that the people have who link to you will bump up your page rank, right? So it's important to study yourself, your own competitors, and here you can figure out where people are blogging, where your competition is getting inbound links from, and you'll get a lot of ideas about what you can do in your strategy, right? So it's a huge asset to be, and obviously they have the social shares and everything as well. So it's a great, again, it's a great competitive intelligence tool as well as a media planning tool. The next hack is called SPYFU, S-P-Y-F-U. You can enter any of your Brazilian startups, and I encourage you guys to go to all these websites and try a lot of Brazilian startups and Brazilian companies that you know, and you'll be able to get a feel of what is involved here. So here we can get an estimate of what Uber is spending on PPC, right? Their budget is around 100,000 a month right now. Their organic traffic is worth 100K. And you can get an estimate of how many organic clicks they're getting, right? And if you look at the tabs there, you can figure out their SEO keywords, the SEO reports, PPC reports. You can do that for any company, right? And so you're kind of spying and getting competitive intelligence on, again, your PPC, your SEO, you know, and your distribution. So this is super important hack that we use all the time. Hack number 17 is something called Built With. This is by far like the most important tool out there. And it's crazy how precise it is, right? So yesterday I ran Built With, like Uber on Built With, and I could tell they're running a double-click server. I knew they were running Twitter ads. I knew they were adding retargeting by ad role. They're using Rocket Fuel for display advertising, MailChimp as their email client, AppNexus as their distribution. They're using Google Analytics, and they're using CloudFront to be able to syndicate their content around the world, so it's cached and accessible faster, right? So builtwith.com, if you go there, any company you enter, again, I would encourage you to try like the top growing companies in Brazil, and you can actually reverse engineer what technologies they're using, right? And how they're getting, so from the web server to the marketing technologies to everything, and it's free. And you can, the other use for Built With is, let's say you're selling merchant services, and you want to know what package people are using, right? Like Magento, or Google Analytics, or Mixpanel. You want to find all the customers in the world, all the companies that are running these technologies. So you can, this is great for sales as well. You can get a lot of leads, and you can market to these people, right? Based on the technologies they're using. Next hack is keywordtool.io. And that tool gives you, I think, 850 keywords for free. But the whole idea here is very interesting. When you type something in Google, you see the top breakdown, and you can see all the related search queries, right? And this is based off of that tool, and obviously you can get a lot of other information from it. 19 is quicksprout.com. You can try different, it will give you a free competitive analysis, SEO analysis. Hack number 20 is List Builder, that you can check out. Hack number 20 is long copy, right? They have found through extensive research, when you're creating any content, like especially blog content, if you have more than 2,000 keywords, Google tends to rank it much higher. So if you see, this might be a good, and SERP IQ has a huge research report on how the length of the content and how much you should be writing. All right, so sales hack. How many people had problems like finding an email of somebody? Like if you want to look for an email, many people here, right? Like especially in sales, you're like, what is this guy's email? And it keeps bouncing. So sell hack, like I found Yuri's email like that, is it crawls through all the social networks. Like you give it a first name, last name, and a company name, and it crawls through all the social networks and gives you a statistical estimate of what the email address could be of a person. All right, there's a lot of mobile hacks, SEM hacks. And one of the ones is exit intent technology. So this is, people have heard of Bounce Exchange and a couple of others. You know, pop-ups coming up when you move your mouse or when you're trying to get out of the website. That is annoying, but that has really high conversion rates. And yeah, the last one to make sense of all this, right, is to deploy some sort of inbound software, right? Locally, Eric's company is an awesome company. HubSpot is also available. So you want to deploy something that makes sense of all these channels, your CRM, your leads, your inbound, outbound, all of your metrics in one place, right? So these are great tools to do that. So thank you for your time. Hope this was helpful. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or email me. Thank you for your time.